What is up with Maxx Crosby? Is there anything up with him, Ian? Is there any smoke there? Because he makes it seem like, I don't want to be bothered by any of this, but it seems like there's a reason to bother. Ian, no?
Yeah, there is reason to bother. This is definitely not nothing. I just don't know what it is yet. And the reason why is look, there'll be plenty of times when you see smoke around a player and you get to March 10th, 11th, 12th, and then, okay, now we learn why this player gets traded. I don't know if that's going to be the case with Maxx Crosby. This is as complicated a situation as I can remember. I'll go through the reasons why.
Okay.
One, I heard you talking in the previous segment about the way his season ended. Yes, that had an effect on him. He wanted to play. It turns out he had a significant knee injury, but he wanted to play and was upset that he didn't get to finish on the field with his teammates. Okay, so and for the Raiders, they got the number 1 pick. So whatever took them there, you can argue it was worth it. But he was upset. Then he has surgery, and it's not a trim, it's a repair. Now it's a pretty good, I don't want to say minor, but not as major a repair as it could have been. So
you're talking about Maxx Crosby's knee, Ian Rapoport,
Maxx Crosby's knee. So it was a meniscus repair.
Mm-hmm.
And that's usually months, not weeks. So I don't think he'd be cleared to get traded in March anyway, unless somebody wanted to take a leap of faith. So you're probably looking at more the draft or, around August for a possible trade. And then they promoted his position coach to defensive coordinator, to which one person very involved in this situation said to me, the plot thickens. So it's very, very complicated as far as where this goes.
So does that mean that whatever happened last year wasn't Pete Carroll related? That whoever ordered the code red for him to sit down is still there, essentially, Ian? Is that because one would think a change of regime might have automatically taken care of whatever he was pissed about. So I guess we can sort of connect dots. No?
Yeah, I mean, it was an organizational decision and also a medical one because he did have a major injury. And I think that's what's tough. And this is sort of the reason that players are not always great sources on their own injuries. Everybody wants to play. So I understand why he wanted to be out there. Here would be my thing. He has been as loyal a soldier as you could ever imagine. He has been a great Raider at a time where there's not been a lot great. I've always wondered over the past month or 2 months, does the organization say, you know what? We are going to do right by you and send you to a real contender and rebuild with the draft picks. That is an option. I just don't know at the end what they end up doing. I just know, for him, yes, you could say things will be better, but he's heard that, to be fair, probably 5 times.
Okay. So what do we look for? You think if anything happens, we're talking about August, or could this be a similar situation as Myles Garrett? And they sprinkle a little bit more Davis dollars on top, and this thing goes away. Ian,
money solves a lot of things. I am not naive. Okay,
right.
When in doubt, money. Generally, money. He's got two raises the last 2 years,
right?
And I really feel like he just wants to win. So look, if they give him a big bag, people like money, so my guess is that would probably help. But I really just think he wants to be part of something that is meaningful and headed in the right direction to play good football in December and January.
Okay, and what do you think the Raiders do at 1 overall? Is it Fernando Mendoza coming in? You connect them to the new coach and Clint Kubiak, and off they go. And that might be something that could be sold with Bowers and Genty and a draft and free agency, and suddenly this is a fixable situation in that regard. Ian?
That's the argument. I mean, that is absolutely the argument, right? It's draft Fernando Mendoza, which I do believe will happen. We're going to get a closer look. It's such a great picture.
Yes, right? I love the kid.
That is him. All emotion and energy, a little awkward, but all emotion. That is a great picture. You can sell it you just did. They got great weapons. I think the offensive line was coached horrendously last year. They're going to play better because they'll be better coached. If you were to say to me, what's their offseason look like? I would think it looks like the Commanders' offseason from 2 years ago, where they spend in free agency, but it's a lot of like mid-level guys to make up for some bad drafts. So like just fill the roster with pretty good players. And like here's the real problem. And again, like you kind of just said it. We've seen teams turn around so quickly. Like every year there's a couple worst to first. So like if you're the Raiders, like this is what they're thinking, right?
Right. Ian Rapoport here on the Rich Eisen Show. So if you were in a quieter place and we were then not saying any words here and we could all hear a pin drop, would we be hearing the sound of Fernando Mendoza's agent telling him not to throw in a couple of Saturdays, leaving us at NFL Network all bummed? Or what are you hearing on that front with the combine?
Biased.
Ian, of course we're biased.
I want everyone to throw. I know you want everyone to throw.
Right.
My guess is he does. I feel like he sort of has insinuated that he might not. I never quite know if it matters if a guy throws or not. I hope he does, but my guess is because he has nothing to gain and only things to lose, that he probably doesn't throw. But look, he's going to do the interview. He's going to talk to, we'll see how many teams he ends up talking to. It might be just one. But I think we're going to get a better sense of him over the next week or so.
Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.